have your fear, which might become reality. And you have Godzilla, which is reality.
I'm sick of Godzilla.
Wake up, everyone!
There are two things you don't know about the Earth. One is me, and the other is Godzilla.
We're safe enough. No human being can understand that. The monsters on Monster Island can understand it.
Whether he returns or not, or is never again seen by human eyes, the things he has taught us remain.
Should we podcast? Oh, we're recording. Cool. Hi.
I knew we forgot something.
It's 11 o'clock at night. Me and Jay have been talking for an hour just about stuff because we're best friends. Jay's back from G-Fest. I am back from San Diego Comic-Con. We do cool shit, Jay.
We do.
And we're here to talk about it. Jay, how you doing?
Good, man. We get to do cool stuff. We get to buy cool stuff. We get to meet cool people.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, guess what? In a couple of weeks, you're going to be out here in the nurturing biosphere of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex for Kaiju Go number 2. And then, you know what? Then I know you have a whole list of things that you do in the fall, Dragon Con and Halloween Horror Nights. And we got Designer Con that Toku Toy Town's going to be making their Designer Con debut this year in Las Vegas. It just never ends, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, it doesn't slow down. Jay, I'm gonna rearrange your Kaiju toys.
Okay.
And
cool.
I'm gonna sleep in that room. I don't care if there's no bed in there. I'm just gonna sleep and wake up in the middle of the night and play with the toys. It's gonna be fun.
And you have night lights built in because there's so many glow in the darks. Actually, you know what? I'm thinking about, like, we've always, for those that haven't been longtime listeners of YHS, even before Toy Anxiety, YHS, the original, the prime, with you and Craig and Abby, for, I don't know, probably the last 5 or 6 years, you guys have been talking about this scenario, this dream show that you guys would do where they pay you guys to come in and redo toy rooms and redo collectibles rooms. Like kind of like the home makeover edition, but with, the toy rooms.
Right.
You can do it. Come in here and redo mine. It'd be amazing.
I think your room's probably perfect. I just want a reason.
It's not.
I just want a reason to touch everything. Dude, it's been a while.
Yes.
I know you guys did an episode. You and Ryan did an episode about G-Fest, and I'm sad I wasn't there for it. But tonight we're just going to talk about. It's just going to be a chill night. We both got some pickups. We got some stuff, some toy reveals to talk about from conventions, from just life, whatever. There's always toys. So yeah. Well, so tonight's mainly a toy. It's a night toys for us, dude. Yesterday I had to do Toy Anxiety, and that was fun. But it went so long because, it's the first Toy Anxiety after Comic-Con, so we had so much to talk about. Didn't even get to like a quarter of it. So yeah, we're gonna be chill. We're gonna talk about toys, and then we're gonna take another hiatus because in 2 weeks I'm gonna be in Texas.
I know, man.
I guess we could just record something at Kaiju Go and throw it up and call it an episode.
Yeah, we could absolutely do that. We could just do a preview to Kaiju Go.
We'll record our dinner.
Yes, we'll record the dinner.
And make
Ignore the camera here, everybody. Hey, we will have our videographer will be there, so he'll already be there.
Yeah,
covered. Be great. First off, the Toy Anxiety episode was excellent. Everybody go check that out. But it is funny because not only is it the one after Comic-Con, which there's just so much stuff that you guys can talk about. Yeah. Not only the releases and the reveals, but also your experience there because you're back doing panel like last year, and obviously you got to do a lot of other really cool stuff in kind of the broader toy industry. But some of the biggest news out of San Diego Comic-Con had to do with Ghostbusters-centric stuff. So it was even extra crazy because you have, four giant Ghostbusters fans and real Ghostbusters fans, and the stuff from Mondo was just really cool and a little controversial, but there were some discussions about it. So it was just so much stuff for you guys to talk about. It was a very meaty episode.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a lot to take in and to put out there. But Comic-Con was fun. It was really great hanging out with Peter and Hector and Kyle at Super 7, and I finally got to meet Tom Whalen. He's such a cool dude. I was so happy to actually get to say hi to him in person. Comic-Con was great, man. It always is. It's fun. It's hectic. There's a lot to do. Your feet hurt. You walk a lot. But it's all... There's, like, famous people all over the place. Hey, Abby pushed... So Abby was, like, walking... I didn't watch this, but I heard about it afterwards because Craig saw it happen, and so did a friend of the podcast, JD, was there. And JD is the person...
JD Raymer?
JD Raymer.
I like JD Raymer.
JD is the one who was like, Abby just pushed. What is this? What's the guy who took the knee?
Colin Kaepernick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Abby pushed him and told him to get out of the way. And he was like, JD was like, that's Colin, whatever, and ended up taking a picture with him, you know? That's what's fun about Comic-Con. There's so many, like, celebrities just, like, also just trying to enjoy the show in and out. And, like, Craig at one point sent a picture. He was down on the floor by himself, and he was like, hey, people were being really loud and screaming, and there was a crowd, so I took a picture. Who are these people? And he sent a picture to our group chat, and it was the cast of that show, The Boys.
Okay,
which is
I know of it, yeah.
Which is like, whether you watch or not, it's the most popular show on TV right now. Craig's like, who are these people?
and on top of that, all of you guys got put to sleep via the Cobra Clutch by Sergeant Slaughter.
We did.
That was pretty awesome.
We got to go to dinner with Sergeant Slaughter. It was the weirdest experience of my life. He's super nice when he's not putting you in the Cobra Clutch. It was cool. Comic-Con was insane, dude. And on top of that, lots of Godzilla stuff. Lots of Ultraman stuff. We were talking before the show. Something I did not anticipate. You know, there's always, booths that have Godzilla toys, some reveals. It's usually like, SH Monster Arts and Super 7 and that kind of stuff. But Godzilla had his own booth set up this year, and it was kind of right in the middle of the floor. Right across from him was the Subaraya booth, which had a life-size statue of the Ultraman from Ultraman Rising. And then if you looked up above, there was this giant, I think it was inflatable, but it had to be 20 feet tall of Ultraman, just like awesome. Towering above everybody at Comic-Con. And the Godzilla booth was sort of it was like a catch-all. It had everything. It was like right in the middle, there was a glass case with 3 Kaiju heads, which I am pretty sure were screen used. That you could tell that they were. You can tell that they were heads and masks. You could see the where the actors' eyes would have been. There was a Gigan. You could see that it was built to be worn. You could see the wearing, like the breaking down of the latex. I was like, this is a real. And then they just had a bunch of glass cases with, they just had a bunch of different Godzilla toys. There was X Plus stuff in there. There was Monster Art stuff in there. There were a few things that I've never seen before that I probably should have made sure you put on this list. It might be there, but it might not be. And if not, we'll talk about it after. Awesome. But yeah, there was just a lot of Godzilla here and there, and it was cool to see, and I'm excited.
I mean, us Kaiju and Tokusatsu nerds are taking over, man. I mean, it's who needs the MCU? Who needs Star Wars anymore? Godzilla.
I don't know, dude. The MCU's coming back. I don't know if you've heard.
I have heard.
I don't know if you've seen Deadpool yet, but I think they're trying really hard to pull it back.
Oh yeah, and obviously the big Dr. Doom news. And all that
crazy.
Good stuff.
That's insane news.
Yeah,
that is the craziest thing. What this is? Ryan's talking about it on Gotham City Tonight right now, so we don't have to talk about.
I just, to me, I felt like, and this was once again outsider looking in, somebody that was trying to recover from G-Fest and just kind of, I was viewing San Diego Comic-Con through the lens of basically your Facebook and Instagram feed. So that was basically it. But it felt from an outsider that this Comic-Con was bigger in the sense like there was more stuff coming out of it than the last few. And I know the pandemic had stuff to do with it. And
it is, and that's exactly why. Yeah. Last year the strike was happening, and the year before that it was like still trying to recuperate from the pandemic. I heard a lot of people, this was my third year, so my last 2 years were affected by things going on in the world. So, and I didn't think it felt like there were more people there, but it felt like there were bigger things happening. And I did hear people who have been going to Comic-Con a long time say like, oh, this is back. This is normal. Yeah. This is how it was before the pandemic. Hall H was hard to get into. We did go to, we went to the Alien Romulus panel.
Oh, very cool.
Which that movie looks terrifying, Jay. They showed a couple clips from that movie, and it looks like it could be one of the best Alien films. And I know that's not, 1 and 2 are really great, and maybe the rest are not, but it looks super intense. But what's funny is when you for Hall H, if you get into Hall H, you can stay all day if you want. They don't kick you out. They don't empty the room after the panels. So sometimes people will go in during a panel that maybe not as many people are trying to see, so they can stay for a later panel. Yeah. So we got into Hall H halfway through whatever panel was before Alien. We had no idea what it was. We were just like, let's just go in. Yeah. So we get in. There's a moderator talking to two men. And I'm like, I have no idea what this is. But then I took a second to look up at the screen and pay attention to who the men were. Yeah. And one of them was none other than Roland Emmerich. And he's up there fucking just talking about movies. And it's a director's panel. They do. Comic-Con does a director's panel every year with different people. Roland Emmerich is up there. And I'm like, oh my God. I can't believe I'm watching this. Yeah. And he did. We missed the first half, but I did hear him talk about Godzilla a little bit. Yeah. Because they asked him a question about marketing and stuff. Uh-huh. And he went off about you could tell he was annoyed. Yeah. And he blamed the marketing on the failure of his Godzilla film, which is insane because it wasn't in the marketing. I thought the marketing was pretty good for that.
The marketing might have been too good.
The marketing might have been too good. Yeah. But he just got. You can tell if somebody brings up Godzilla, he gets upset. And he was getting annoyed, and I was so happy that I was in the room to hear him talk about it. I just was like, hey, if you take Godzilla out of it, the dude made Independence Day. He's done a lot of stuff.
There's a reason he's on the director's panel at a Comic-Con.
And it was just cool to be sitting there like, holy fuck, I'm watching the guy who made the most disappointing Godzilla movie of all time talk about it. This is great. So
and that's why you're the tattoo titan of Tokusatsu. Is you can not even know and stumble in and there's a director of a Godzilla film on a panel that you didn't even know about.
Didn't even know he was there. Yeah, it was cool. Well, Jay, let's get into some toys, man.
Yeah.
We got Kaiju pickups. Oh, what a glorious day! Oh, Kaiju pickups. With our hosts Jacob and Jay. Rock on! Yes!
Well, there's a lot to talk about. We'll do our pickups first.
Do some pickups, man. Let's do some pickups. I'm assuming you didn't watch Shin Kamen Rider.
Fuck no, dude.
I can start. I got some really fun ones, man.
Yeah,
I got some really, 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 really fun ones. The first one. So I got two that are. They're soft vinyl, they're Sofubi. They're not licensed properties, but they're from amazing designers and amazing toy artists. And one is definitely a kaiju. The other one is a little robot. But we love robots. So this was actually a release at Five Points Festival out in Brooklyn, right? And I didn't go, but luckily our good buddy Michael, who's at Sweaty Vinyl on Instagram, he was there, and I asked him if he could please pick me up one of these because it just looks so freaking cool, and he was able to do it because he's amazing. And it's from a designer called Uh-Oh Toys, and they do a lot of kind of like a lot of their robots are basically kind of styled after like they were built from like household appliances or something. And like there's some that are like one is like a Cinematron or something, and it looks like he's made of like movie reels. This one is Sandotron, and he's basically looks like a giant vending machine. But he is freaking amazing, and this was his 5 Points Festival release. Look at this guy right there. He reminds me of Conky from Pee-wee's Playhouse a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely cool. I love like they actually applied the sticker, the glossy sticker, right there on the body of the toy. Absolutely dig this guy. Yeah. He has some really cool variants of it, but I don't know. I just think he looks cool on my designer toy.
That's great.
Indie toy shelf. Love that guy. But the other one, which I also have to thank Sweaty Vinyl for, because I didn't know this was a thing, and he said, "Hey, dude, have you seen this?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh." And I signed up. So, we use the term Pachi a lot, which basically just is kind of that vintage bootleggy style. If you're a Pachi toy, it's a bootleg toy. It's a non-licensed toy, non-copyrighted toy. And this Instagram handle is the @Pachi Adventure Club. And so you buy the toy, and it comes in this beautiful. I wish I had the box. It comes in this beautiful wooden crate with like the logo. It's like. And it's a full membership box to the Pachi Adventure Club. And just so you know, there's my card, my official card. But it comes with like a compass and some other little accessories and stickers and decals and keychains and membership cards. But this is their first release. And this is, it's a Pachi Kaiju done as like those classic 60s and 70s, just generic Kaiju. It's beautiful, and it is some of the most well-made vinyl toy I own. Like, I mean, it is like well done. But this is the first release from them. Look at this guy.
Oh shit!
I mean, it is so cool with the wings and everything.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping. I wish this was like one of those like beauty boxes where like every month you get a new one. I would totally subscribe. But this thing is really cool. It's sold out, and I'm just happy now I'm an official member of the Pachi Adventure Club.
Yeah, that guy's cool. Cool colors, nice sculpt. Really cool. I saw him pop up in your in a couple of your Instagram posts, and I was like, what is that? I was very intrigued by that. Very cool.
Yeah, very that Vinci bootleggy style. Yeah. So the next thing I got, it's I don't know if you got this one or not. So if you did, apologies if you're going to shut off as well. From Mondo, from Urban Aztec. I don't know if did you get the Urban
Aztec? I didn't get any of the Urban Aztec. Okay. Not yet.
So I got this guy. I got the first one came in, and it's big. It's very big. I actually really like it a lot. I know it's not your favorite. It's really cool. I dig it, and I love the the Aztec, Mayan, Quetzalcoatl type vibes there. You see, but like with all the little little detail there. I love like the knee pads. They have their ferocious teeth and everything. Same with the elbow pads, like a pro wrestler. But this thing is really cool. It's interesting though. The one thing is, it looks great. It feels like a lighter, less bulky type vinyl. So it almost feels like really like a lot softer. So it's very interesting. Yeah, I was expecting almost like a heavier, almost like wood. I knew it wasn't wooden, but with that look, and it kind of a little bit of an illusion, kind of tricks your brain a little bit. But I really like it. I'm glad I didn't get all the colorways. I don't think I like it that much, but I do like it.
There's only been 2 that have sold so far, I think.
Did the green one not go for sale yet?
The green one, I do not think they have actually sold yet, because the green one is the one that I think I'm going to buy. Yeah. Because it looks like a statue. The green, you know what I mean? It's got that jade kind of color to it. Yep. I could be wrong. I could have just missed it, but I do not think the green one has gone up for sale yet.
I don't know. But like I said, I'm very happy with it. It looks cool, kind of like on a miscellaneous Godzilla iteration shelf, you know. But yeah, the other thing I got, and this was home. This was at my home when I arrived from G Fest. I was so excited. It was like a nice little welcome package. I love Marmot. I love Vinyl Paradise. You know, they're chunkier sculpts. You got Monster Heaven, which are more kind of the quote unquote realistic, and you have Vinyl Paradise, which are the chunkier ones. And I've never owned this, and I always wanted it. And I found one that came up for like not a lot of money, and I was like, gotta grab this one. Your favorite kaiju, Gorosaurus, but in Vinyl Paradise form. Look at this guy.
That's the best he's ever looked.
I know. He kind of looks like a Pachi dinosaur.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
It's actually a really cool toy.
What I really love is if you look at him from the front, he looks really fat, but if you look at him from the side, he looks very skinny.
We know people like that. I mean, come on.
Me too.
Yes, actually, it's usually the opposite. It's like you look really skinny from the front, and they turn the side and they see the big guy. You know. But yeah, that was a cool one. I was really excited to get that one. So the next two I have are kind of really cool, but also something that came in. You know me, I love Gilala, and I claim other than Godzilla, he might be my favorite kaiju, and Anguirus is up there as well. But if you really peel back the layers, we all know my actual favorite kaiju, even bigger than Godzilla, probably the most important kaiju in film history, is Skeleturtle. And this, I have not put this together, so he might fall apart as I lift him up. But they had a little unpainted little mini model kit thing that I think Cass did. And I was able to get, there he is, the mystery bones of Infant Island. There he is, Skeleturtle. Now, I will never paint this because I don't want to destroy it, but there he is.
That's awesome.
That's my first Skeleturtle toy. I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
So the next two, love these. Love them, love them, love them. The first one, and they both actually have a tie into G-Fest, even though I did not get them at G-Fest. So the first one I got, and I put it up at G-Fest at the Toku Toy Town booth, but I marked it up a little bit because I didn't know if I wanted it or not. And I did. I realized that, and I almost had a guy buy it literally as we were packing up our booth. And luckily he didn't. This is, so for Mara-san's 100th anniversary, they did that cool Godzilla 100th anniversary, which was designed by the guy that does Gojiban. It had the puppet style look.
Yeah.
So that's great. And then there's some on the Godzilla store. There's the all gold one. I think it's still on there. They've done a green glitter one. They've done the Yozakura, the kind of night cherry blossom glow in the dark. All of those are fantastic. But then this one I was able to acquire not through like the normal channels and stuff like auctions and stuff. It's a 1 of 10, and it's a 1 of 10 because it was painted by the Sofubi painting master, the one everybody loves, the great Goto-san, Hiroshi Goto, painted this and by hand and in his little shop there in Japan. And they only did 10. Now they could do a future release because it's a really cool colorway, but I'm keeping it because it is cool and it's it's Mara-san, it's Godzilla, it's the Gojiban guy, it's Goto-san, and here he is, loving this colorway.
Oh yeah.
It's just absolutely stunning. I love it. It's this metallic blue green with some silver in there. I love the red eyes, those beady eyes, but and that classic Gojiban sculpt. And the reason I wanted to keep this is because and I'll talk about this later on, even though it wasn't Wonderfest, we got the official Godzilla Store Japan release of the Gojiban style Destroya, which will pair with this. So, cool. So I know I'm going to be getting that one. So that's that. And then the next thing, and this is the final pickup. So this one was also acquired at G-Fest, but not in the traditional way of exchanging money for.
You stole it.
I stole it. No, I did not. 2 years in a row, our booth has been next to the OG, the legend herself, Linda Conrad of Chibi Goji Toys. One of the people responsible for bringing Japanese toys over here to the U.S. I mean, she's one of the best, and she has forgotten more in her collection than most people have ever in their whole collection of all time. I mean, she literally has so much of everything that she doesn't even know how many that she has. Like, I mean, she's like, I think I have like 4 of those Marmot Godzilla towers in storage somewhere, like that type of person,
Yeah.
So anyway, She also loves Mark Nagata, and she loves all the stuff that Max Toy Company does in Japan and in the US. And I happen to have a lot of those, and I had some really cool Marasan stuff that was hard to get a hold of.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd made a trade, and I gave her bags and bags of Marasan and Max Toy stuff so I could get my hands on this. And I feel like I have to do a little bit of this because we got a top 10 pickup.
Whoa!
From Marmot. Now, I'll asterisk this pickup, the top 10, because the toy is the top 10, but not this variant. But it's okay, Jake, because that variant I found literally the week after I got back from G-Fest. It'll be here on Friday. I'll have two now from Marmot, our good boy from the personal collection of Linda Conrad, which makes it even more special. I'll never get rid of it. Marmot Space Godzilla.
Woo!
The black glitter version. It has red, gold, and silver glitter in it with this metallic paint, metallic purple paint, or magenta, I guess, at the base of the crystals and the stomach, pelvis region, if you will. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. The Godzilla Wars version is on its way. It will be here, like I said, on Friday. So I'll have both of those. But look at the tail. Look at this. Translucent crystals, and then the black vinyl goes into it. Oh, my gosh. It is just work of art.
Yeah.
Work of art. So I finally got, now I'm going to have two Marmot Space Godzillas.
That's how it works. It's on your top 10 list, and you end up with two.
You do. So I between that and the Godo-san, like I was, like I said, G-Fest was great and had some great pickups, but I felt like the week I got back, I was like, maybe it was better. Actually, I know it was probably better. I got a top 10. So super excited. But those were my pickups. I was very happy with them.
Man, amazing, Jay. Always amazing pickups. We'll see. I got some good stuff too. I don't think I have any top 10s. Well, maybe I do. I might have one thing on the top 10 list.
We got to call Matt Bush if not. Slacking.
It's from Matt Bush, honestly. Oh. So, did I show this off? I don't know. We'll get to it. I first of all, at Comic-Con, listener of the show, David Cabal, he gave me this little guy.
Look at that.
He gave me this little Pigmon or Garamon. I don't know which one it is. I took the tag off him already. I don't know
because it's color. Because
yeah. Okay, but yeah, gave me this cute little guy.
That's cool, David.
A couple quick things. I did. So last time we recorded, I had the white Lino cut Attack Peter Mechagodzilla.
Yes.
Since then, I've gotten the silver one. I know you showed this guy off last time.
Love that.
Mine took a little bit longer to come in. This is awesome.
It is.
This is amazing. The little pops of cut. This is perfect. This is a perfect. Hey, Peter, this is a perfect toy.
I'm going to go say something here. I feel pretty confident saying this. That might be my favorite Mechagodzilla toy that's been made.
Wow.
It might be my favorite one. I mean, I love some of the Marasans, obviously some of the Marmots, some of the M1s, like the Space Titanium. And the only one that I think, to me in my head, for me personally, the Bullmark Aurora is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think I like Peter's, this version. It might be my favorite Mechagodzilla toy, period.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
This is beautiful, dude.
Yeah,
cool.
It was really good.
We'll move past that one. So I got two things that I want to show that aren't kaiju related, but the style of the toy is. So another Attack Peter, a Sofubi that came in while I was at Comic-Con. Look at this creature from the Black Lagoon Sofubi. I was waiting on this guy. This is another amazing, design by Peter, but it's just cool to have like creature from the Black Lagoon Sofubi. This is cool. I hope Mondo keeps doing Sofubi of things that shouldn't be Sofubi. They had I did pre-order this as well, but they had it at Comic-Con. It was my first time seeing it, but they had their Sofubi version of Michael Myers, which is amazing. I was like, please keep making this line. It's beautiful. But I wanted to show what?
So you know what's crazy about this? Like I know Peter is a huge Godzilla fan, but I think creatures his favorite thing. Like
he's into
ever.
he's into it. There's three of these already.
Yeah, and you can tell like in his Godzilla stuff, and obviously with Hector, and we'll talk about like Tom Whalen and those guys later too. But like you can tell how much they like love it. Like that figure just like oozes like this is like his his spirit monster.
Yeah,
I mean it was like it's so good.
Another thing I picked up, not by Peter, but another creature from the Black Lagoon, is that Super 7 has gotten into the tricycle game. And I feel like we have to talk about it because look at that.
I know. I mean,
come on, dude.
That is M1. We're called M2.
Is this the first American company to ever do? Like, is M1 the only ones who have done tricycles?
No, I think the first
like stealing these, this idea.
I think the first one to do it actually was Masudaya, right? Because they did Spectre Man and Ultraman had like tricycles and fire trucks and things like that and cars and stuff in the 70s. So I think they were the first, and then M1 just kind of popularized it. I don't know technically the first. I always thought it was Masudaya or Modern Trademark Toys, whatever you want to call them, whatever iteration. I think they were the first, but I could be wrong. Somebody will correct us in the comments.
This was a Comic-Con exclusive, and I had to have it.
That's great.
This is a beautiful toy. Super 7, please keep making these.
Yeah.
Very affordable, $60 for this, brand new. I did have to wait in a line, but it was the only line I waited in.
Don't feel bad for you, dude.
Don't feel bad. No, I'm just saying. This is awesome, and thank you for this.
Now, question: have you raced that one in the Hedera yet?
Not yet, but I should. I'm gonna do that tonight. I'm gonna do that when I'm done.
Please video that.
Speaking of Super 7, another Comic-Con exclusive that I got. I'm not a completist when it comes to reaction figures, but there was no chance in any way or any world I would have passed up the Godzilla Jet Jaguar handshake, the victory handshake.
There it is.
That's it. I needed it. I had to have it. And there it is.
I love the box. The
box is great. I'm gonna open it up. I can't keep boxes, but I like that it's got even like it's got the background in there and everything. Love this. Had to have this. Thank you for this. It's awesome.
Yeah, that was when the teasers came out of that, I was just like my mind was blown. I was like,
same.
They're doing it.
And they had some other pretty good reaction figures that almost got me, but I had to
slippery slope. I think
keep my eye on the prize. Couple more things. So I did get a figure from Matt Bush. I do not think I showed this off. I think this.
Who cares if you did? It's been a while.
I'm trying to remember. Maybe I did. Did I show this on here? No, I showed it on Toy Anxiety.
I think maybe Toy Anxiety. If not, no, I don't. Who cares? We're doing it.
So this is the die-cast Godzilla and Mecha Godzilla that I put on my top 10 list.
Top 10.
This is a top 10. This is the Ghidorah from that line. Now he's not complete. I didn't get a box with him. But this is one of the harder figures to find in that line. It's amazing. His wings are kind of tucked back here, and his wings fold. He's a little brittle, so I'm trying to be careful with him here. But yeah, this is another figure in that weird die-cast line cool. that Matt Bush is single-handedly putting together for me. So Matt, thank you so much, dude. I love
that's awesome. And thank you for us, Matt, for getting us the chance to look at these really cool toys.
Yeah, they're not toys you see very often. No, we're hoping for that Gigan next. I got
the Angerus.
I got one more thing, Jay.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite toys I've had in my hand in a long time. It's very cool. You helped me out with this one.
Oh yes. Yes, you are complete now. You are.
I
complete.
am. We got an Enraku.
Your buddy.
We got a new Enraku here. Look at that beautiful 73 Godzilla.
Oh. And that, honestly,
fucking-
I can't take any credit for that one. That was actually from the collection of the great Eric Stolp from the Bearded Kaiju Reviews.
Yeah.
Eric's a great dude. I hang out with him at G-Fest every year.
Mhm.
He helps out with the Beast of the East, which is the huge Bandai booth.
Yeah.
Great guy. He's part of the Monsters with Attitude crew that has a YouTube show and everything. And
Yeah.
Eric's a great dude, but he posted that. And I was like, for like an amazing price. And I was like, dude, please hold it. I think I know somebody that needs to.
Yeah. Well, I've been wanting this for a while. Yeah. I feel like Enraku's just become hard to find or get your hands on. Like, these are beautiful toys, beautiful sculpts. I'm gonna put this on the shelf right with the other Enraku that you got me. So, dude, this is awesome.
I just feel like that one, if he was alive, he would just be your friend. Like he would be like, he would follow you around. He would ride in your back in a backpack or something. Like, he would be your buddy. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, if you were a Godzilla in Enraku style Sofubi form, it would be that. That is the Jacob.
Thank you. That's flattering. Those are my pickups.
That's pretty good.
That's it. Got some good stuff.
Hey, did you have Enraku on your top 10 list?
Not this year.
Not this year.
I think I did. I think I did last year.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll hold the applause then.
Yeah. No, don't applaud for me. Not for that.
Those are good weeks, man.
It's good stuff for both of us. Yeah. So, well, listen, Jay, I'm gonna let you take the reins from here, and you can
just for a bit, because I gotta, you have to help us out on the Comic-Con stuff. Add some, because you got to see this stuff with in person.
I did.
So yeah, let's talk about who kaiju'd better. Did our good buddies in San Diego Comic-Con do? Were they peak, or was it going on almost the same time over in Japan? We had Wonderfest.
I think we can probably all say it's Wonderfest.
It could be close. Let me throw this up here. So let's start with the toy reveals and exclusives from Wonderfest 2024, the summer edition. It feels like yesterday we did the winter edition, which was in February, and now we're already in the summer edition here. Wonderfest, I will tell you, like Comic-Con, I felt this was one of the bigger Wonderfest as far as the number of really big reveals and really cool stuff that came out of it, Godzilla related, and a couple pieces that are just setting our little corner of the internet on fire, which is great. It's awesome. That's what these festivals are supposed to do. But I'm excited to go through these with you. But we'll start off hot. We'll start off with, I think, maybe the winners of Wonderfest. I really feel that way, and that's Max Toy Japan. So Max Toy Japan, there were so many really cool releases that they had. But I think what shocked a lot of us, myself included, was that their big releases were big, 10, 12-inch tall toys, which when we think of Max Toy Japan, we think of the small 4-inch guys. And there were lots of those. And so it was the usual suspects. It was Ultraman and Shin and 64 and 65 and Mechagodzilla, all in different colorways. And they all were great. The Mechagodzilla is actually a silver glitter. Looks really great. But they were all the different colorways. But they had two new sculpts in that size that I thought were just chef's kiss. Like, so good. The first one was Alien Zarab from Shin Ultraman. And so if you see there on the bottom, it did it where the back was concave. It was in Shin Ultraman, and it's painted red. So it looks like he's that kind of thin, unusually shaped alien he is in the show, which I thought was so cool. And I haven't seen any like that yet. So kudos to that. The other one was they did an Odo Island Godzilla, the Proto Godzilla -1, whatever you want to call it. They did that one, and I think it looks a fun sculpt. It looks really cool, really playful, but still menacing and really dinosaurian. It looks really cool. So I thought that was a big one. People were digging that. So the Zarab and the Odo Island Godzilla were huge winners. So on the bigger front, they released a new Hedorah. It's the same sculpt, a new colorway. But the two new sculpts are really what freaked everybody out and just went nuts, because these things hit the secondary market, and only a few of them. They sold out quickly. They only made a few of these, in the $500-$700 range. These are very expensive. The first one, which I honestly, it wasn't my favorite version of GMK. I thought it was a fine sculpt. It was great. It was really cool. It was big. It was, I think this one was like 25 centimeters tall. So, I mean, it's, it's 10 inches, 9 inches tall. It's a big boy. But the Godzilla -1. Holy cow, man. When I saw it, first, I saw a photo in isolation. I thought it was like a 4-inch figure. I'm like, oh, wow, that's cool. Like, they packed a lot of detail in a little 4-inch figure, and it's kind of bulky and like hulking over and everything. It's pretty cool. Oh, no, he's big. He's real big. And then that's those big numbers they were throwing out there made a little bit more sense, right?
Yeah.
And so that figure, I think when we think back at Wonderfest 2024 summer, I think it's going to be this Max Toy Japan Godzilla -1, really kind of the first Godzilla -1 in Sofubi form, and a different kind of style that we typically see for Max Toy is going to be the signature piece coming out of this festival. And that was I think the one that just blew everybody's mind.
That's a must-have figure. Like that's a beautiful, beautiful sculpt. It's so cool. I love the way he's hunched over.
Me too.
He looks like so menacing, but yeah, I want that. That is a top-notch 10. That wins both of these conventions by itself. It just does.
I think so too.
It does.
I'm right there with you. Honestly, I'm not 100% with you. I'm excited to see this when it shows up in people's collections, and we can kind of see it scaled against other things. Because there was only a few shots of it at the show, but these things sold out so quickly. There wasn't a ton. So I want to see it like compared to better reference points to what we know to really kind of understand it. But it looks great. Yeah, I hope to have it in the collection one day. It's going to be a tough get, but it's really cool. But I'm hoping that we get to see Godzilla -1 done in more iterations by Max Toy Japan, but also other companies in this Sofubi form. I think it'll be great.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's go to Sun Guts. I think Sun Guts also had a really good showing because not only do we get new colors of their kind of the usual suspects, right? The GMK, the Anguirus, the Minya, and Mothra Larva, which is always a home run. I love the 68 in the purple. It's great. But the one making all the waves was this freaking Gorosaurus. He looks great. I mean, he will look really great next to this Vinyl Paradise Gorosaurus. And so I'm excited on that one. But I thought Sun Guts had a great showing with their Toho license. Even though
I love the Minya. I love their Minya so much. It's
so good. It's so good. I think this one might be my second favorite colorway behind like the standard. I really like that kind of tan and blue. I don't know. I don't know, something weird about a little fleshy Minya. But Sun Guts, always great stuff.
Yeah.
Another company that always does great stuff is Saru Jirushi. Now, no new sculpts, kinda, with an asterisk. We do get similar colorways that we've seen, but they've just kind of mixed and matched with their different sculpts. So it's the 54, the 62, the 64, the 95, and the Shin. Those are their main sculpts. Those 5, they rotate a lot. And all the colorways are just, we've seen them on the other sculpts, the other suits, but just not on these. The Shin really stood out, that translucent with the pink and the light blue. These are all great. I love the Popey style, red and dark green on the 95, looks really cool. But the Wacky Racers. So this was that second wave of Wacky Racers. And I know we chatted about, after the first ones, what were they going to do next? Were they going to do different vehicles? Were they going to do different kaiju? Well, the answer is neither, but they would switch out what kaiju was driving what, right? Yeah. So Godzilla was in a red train. Now Jet Jaguar's in a green train. Yeah. Hedorah was in was not in the race car, was in like the regular vintage car. Now he's in the race car. Like, so they just mixed up the colors, they mixed up the paint jobs, and then they changed the characters with the vehicles. I'm hoping the next wave they'll introduce some more kaiju and some more vehicles. Yeah, but that was cool to kind of see. At least if you bought it, it's not just a different.
Yeah, not exactly the same. These are all really great, and I think their bigger sculpts are very like classic looking. Yeah, like they look kind of regal. Their sculpts are really good.
They are. Yeah, I mean, I have a 95 and a 62 up on my shelf that are two of my favorite pieces. I really do like them.
I was going to say, I think the 62 and the Shin are standouts.
Yeah, the Shin's great. The Saru Jirushi, they did a really, really dark black, dark gray translucent one about a year ago. That was just like perfect. It was one of the best colorways on a Shin fourth form. So, but Saru does great stuff. Okay, this was one I was really, really excited, and I got to find a way to get my hands on these statues. So, M1, a lot of the stuff they released they've had at other recent shows. Like a lot of the stuff on the right side, the Trikes and the Hedera, the new DX, they had at G-Fest. These aren't new, but it's just another show where you can get the 74, the fake Godzilla on the tricycle, one of the two Gameras, the Godzilla 2000, or their latest release of the big DX, the big, huge M1 Heteras. This is the glow in the dark. They also had this re-release of this old, it's an unpainted, assembly required model kit of Gamera, I think 96, but this bad boy is 3 feet tall. So like it's for the really crazy model kit builder and painters and stuff. So all that was cool. But these statues. So Haruko Sakurai, the great actress that played Fuji in Ultraman and also Yuri-chan in Ultra Q, she's coming out with a book. She had this big book release that's basically behind the scenes of Ultraman 66 and Ultra Q. And to commemorate that book signing, and she was there signing autographs at the M1 table, they did these two statues, this gold statue and this bronze statue of her as Fuji, and you could buy a base with it and everything. Only 25 each of these were made just for this signing. So I'm sure these things will be hard to get a hold of, but these are awesome. I mean, what a cool thing.
Yeah, they really are. And so I'm not, super in my yen to dollar conversion, but 9,000 yen is not
$65. Yeah,
that is kind of crazy, right?
Yep.
That there's only 25 of each version and it's only that much, accompanied by an autographed book.
Yeah,
that's all. Yeah, these are very cool. I would love to get my hands on that book. Autographed statue or not, that book sounds amazing.
I mean, she's so unique because she was in the first two Ultra series, because obviously different characters, but like she was so young when she was in Ultra Q, and she was great in Ultra Q.
Yeah.
And then she goes and she, really is that first kind of strong female in the, obviously then it was the SSSP, but then, whether it's the Ultra Garden and Yuri right after that, or in Matt and stuff, like she's that proto, that kind of that first one to really bring that heroine to the whatever group is helping them.
It's like an important piece.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This feels like this is a very cool thing. Yeah.
And she still does tons of conventions, even in the US. I mean, she's out there. I mean, obviously she's going to the signings and stuff. She's great. Yeah. So I just thought this was one of the cooler pieces from Wonderfest as well. And like I said, I think it'll be cool. Yeah. Who do we have next here? After M1, let's talk about boys from US Toys.
Ooh, here we go.
Here's something that was kind of unique. We haven't seen them do this as much. At least in some of the conventions that we've seen, or at like G-Fest and stuff when they're there. Mm-hmm. This Gamera quartet here, they sold as a set.
Well, set.
And once again, you get 4 for like the price of 1 in the US, which is crazy. I mean, it's nuts.
Yeah.
You get the Gearon, the Barugon, the Gamera, and the Gauss, and they're all awesome.
I love that Gauss. That's such a great. Fuck this, dude. All of these sculpts are. US Toys is one of the best.
The best.
Fuck it. It's just I can't stop staring at this Naranga.
I know. Isn't that good? That is the shampoo bottle series.
Fuck?
It's the shampoo bottle series, the DX, so the bigger ones, the nicer ones. It's great. And then the Canagon next to it is also a shampoo bottle series, but it's like the clear with the gold glitter and everything. Yeah. It looks so great. And then, of course, the Dodongo. You can't look at the Dodongos right
got to get me a US Toys Dodongo. I have to.
Yeah, they're really cool.
It's beautiful.
The Wyndham's great. All of them are great. The Dolly, the Agira, all of them are wonderful. US Toys is great stuff. But I thought the Gamera 4-figure set was great, and then Naranga was the one that stood out to me.
Yeah, good stuff.
I love that yellow.
Me too.
So Passion Tank didn't give us anything new from a sculpt standpoint, but they gave us some new colorways. Their 64, which is everybody's favorite sculpt. Everybody loves the Passion Tank. They did some slight variations on their famous blue-green one. Added a different, some blue metallic to the tail, some red eyes, some things. I really dig the black and gold. I think that actually looks really cool.
I do too.
And then they did some new shins. They just did some tweaks on the black one, and then the other shin, which I like their shin sculpt.
Good stuff.
With the crazy red and blue and yellow, so it was really cool stuff. But nothing. They didn't do anything new and crazy, right? Just some new colorways. Just make sure.
It's chewed bubblegum Shin Godzilla. That's what it looks like. Chewed up bubblegum.
Okay. Oh, we got to talk T-Base. This is a company that we don't talk a ton about on here. You know, I mean, they've been around. They have obviously higher end stuff, and they do great sculpts. They're usually pretty expensive, but they had 3 Wonderfest exclusive GMKs. They had the clear one. They had kind of a standard meaty, marbly Shin Godzilla looking red and black one. Yeah. But the one in the middle,
oh yeah,
the luminous one, that thing was like $450 there, not secondhand, like there. I mean, it's like $425 or so. Beautiful. They had some Hedras, and then the Destroyer was the other one that caught basically everybody was talking about. That was at Wonderfest. So the Destroyer and that Godzilla GMK that glows in the dark. I did actually grab a screen grab of these in person just to kind of show you a little bit more scale here. So I'm going to pop this one up. So that just shows you how big they are. They're they're about
Destroyer.
Yeah, the Godzillas are about 12 inches tall. 10, 12 inches tall. I think those are about 10. I'm sorry. The Destroyer is a little bit taller. These are big toys. They look imposing. They're great. T-Base does wonderful stuff. So I thought that was a really cool.
These are 2.5 steps away from being like D for reals. You know what I mean? Like
the proportions are interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. They look great.
Yeah, it is. It is. I never thought about that. It's like they definitely heightened up the faces and the heads.
Well, they're like kind of realistic, but like not at all. Yeah.
It's a weird place they're playing in, and also big. As opposed to like where Max Toys or US Toys can kind of, or Sun Guts can do that in a smaller form. It's like these guys are going big with it. So really cool stuff. So I thought T-Base did a great job at Wonderfest. X Plus had so much. They released so much. And I don't know why some of my label there was flying up into the Odo Island Godzilla there, but whatever. I kind of coupled this, like there was 3 big things I think were talked about the most, and then there were some other things they released as well that were also very, very cool. But people were flipping out over the 74, the new 74, and the new King Caesar that are in the Kaiju series, the large monster series, the 25 centimeter, that 10-inch size scale. They look great. They look wonderful, and I think people are just flipping out. It's still the 50th anniversary of that film, and so like we need as much as we can get. And I feel Mecha Godzilla gets top billing, and then Godzilla 74 is probably the second, and then King Caesar's at the bottom. So it's like it's cool to get some King Caesar stuff. The other thing was the big favorite sculptors line, gigantic size Space Godzilla, which we saw at Wonderfest winter in February. The proto unpainted, they had the painted one there. That bad boy is like 20 something inches tall. It's gigantic.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And so that's going to be really cool, and that starts getting out into the world. And then I thought their Odo Island Godzilla here looked stunning. I don't know what line it was, if it was large monster series or favorite products line, favorite sculptors. I don't know.
You have it under favorite products.
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was favorite products line. So, but anyway, it's really cool. It looks great. I can't wait to get more details on that. But X Plus wasn't done. They gave us a gigantic Godzilla 2002, which is big and beautiful. They did release their new Toho Maniacs release, which was a regular combatant from the Mysterian. So just one of the, the arm. You can army build them, right? So that's coming out. That's via, I believe it was only 100 of them were made for the show, and maybe there's a lottery coming up for the rest. I don't know how they're going to do that one. The D for Real Shin Godzilla 3-pack done in the orthochromatic. That's actually on the Shonen Rick site right now. That just got released, but that was there as well at Wonderfest. A cool little 3-pack of Shin Godzilla D for Real stuff. And then, you sent me this because you saw it first. Was they were teasing the the King Caesar statue, but also this Godzilla X Kong New Empire X Plus Evolved Godzilla coming soon. So a lot of cool stuff coming out from X Plus, and they just are not slowing down, whether it's in Japan or
They're
here in
not.
North America. They just never
Wonderful
stop.
company.
Yeah.
I love their stuff, dude.
Yeah, they just they do very little wrong. So really
Sure.
cool stuff. And so that was kind of the takeaways, guys. I
Good
know
stuff.
you're probably like, "Hey Jay, why did you forget this and that?" Or I know Sovi Envy had the little Godzilla and the Space Godzilla. I saw all that. I had to limit it because we could talk
Can't
about
get
this
it
stuff
all.
for hours. Yeah,
Can't get it all.
yeah. But
It's 1 a.m. over here. I just made that up. It's not that.
but hey, San Diego Comic-Con, you guys brought the kaiju heat. I mean, you talked about a
There's
lot
some
of this
cool
already.
stuff. Yeah.
Very cool stuff. So I'll go through these. I didn't put as much detail in these because
Sure.
you were there, and you can give us the
I was there,
rundown.
guys.
First, let's talk about all the stuff from Mondo.
Woo.
I know you bought the Funko Pop. I know that was the main reason you even went to San Diego. So from our Godzilla, the Sofubi line, the final line, I should say, that they have over there. I guess it's the third colorway of the All Monsters Attack
Second.
set. Second one. Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember. Did you get this one, and did you get the Godzilla X Kong? Did you get any of those?
No, so here's the thing. I didn't buy any of this, and I feel like a bad person because I went into Comic-Con knowing that I was going to at least buy that Biollante poster.
Yeah.
When it came down to it, I was like, well, I don't have a fucking poster tube. Am I going to walk around the convention? Because they just hand you the poster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't give it to you in a poster tube. They just hand it to you.
Yeah.
So you see people walking around the floor with their fucking Mondo posters, rolling them up, and I'm like, I'll ruin it like that. So I didn't buy it because I'm like, then I got to go buy a tube. I got to figure out how to get it home. I want it. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Bob
amazing.
Eagleton, it's amazing. Maybe it's a secondary buy for me, but I didn't pick it up. The All Monsters Attack set. I did get to hold it in my hands and see, how they feel
And rock it to sleep.
Yeah, it was really fun to hold the Minya. He's so small and cute. But I didn't buy that because I did buy the first set.
Yeah, same.
And I'm trying to not buy 3 of the same set.
Yeah.
So the Godzilla and the Kong, very, very tempted. I also got to hold those.
Mm-hmm.
That Godzilla sculpt is so awesome, Jay. It is so good. And you can't see from this angle, but from the back, the spines and the tail, they look so good. And that Kong comes with an interchangeable arm. So if you don't want him to be wearing his brace, you can just put a regular arm on it. And then also Peter's Mechagodzilla print was also an almost buy. Like, it's so hard being in the booth and seeing those things and not buying them. It is so hard. And I had to last year at Comic-Con, I just let myself go crazy and I bought everything, and I bought shit that I don't even collect. And I almost did that so many times. Dude, if you ask Craig next time you talk to him, how many times I said, I'm about to go buy the Cherry Blossom Scare Glow figure. Yeah. I said it like 6 or 7 times. I was walking around holding it in the booth. I didn't pick up anything, but this is all amazing. That the Aztec King Ghidorah figure wasn't there the first day when YHS did our booth tour. They kind of slipped it up later on in the afternoon, and I didn't even know about it until you said something to me about it. That fucking thing is it's
needs its own room.
It is the fact that they're doing King Ghidorah Sofubi stuff, getting into it
in that style too.
It's dude. I texted Peter when you told me about it. I went straight to the booth to see it, and Peter wasn't there. I took a picture of it and I texted Peter, and it just said, "You son of a bitch." It was like, it's awesome. It's so big.
Yeah.
Mondo, we're gonna get Peter has mentioned it to me. We're gonna get Peter back on the show soon, whenever everything's calm and we can work it out. But
yeah,
Mondo is killing it.
Killing it. Yeah, I went ahead. I didn't get the booth exclusive Bob Eggleton Biollante, but I did pre-order the.
You got the other one
with the Biollante Beast form.
Yeah.
I liked them both. I mean, I honestly, if they both were up, I probably would have got this one, but I'm totally cool with the other one.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like you, I want to get the Godzilla and Kong. I just don't know what colorway yet.
Yeah, I'm kind of same.
I'm kind of waiting.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm only going to get one, and I don't want to, I know Mondo's going to release. I think this is the third variant they have. Like they're going to release some more.
They're going to do some more.
Popular. I mean, the Godzilla sold out in like 14 minutes.
Well, the thing about that Godzilla, the Kong's great. The Kong's great. Nothing bad to say about the Kong. But the thing about the Godzilla, and the thing that I think really, says a lot about Sofubi, is when, these movies are fine. They're fun, whatever. Yeah. We've talked about them. But the evolved Godzilla, this specific, this is the only Sofubi of that so far, I think. There's no other evolved Godzilla Sofubi out there. This looks better than it does in the movie. And I think it looks great in the movie. Yeah. But this specific sculpt of that suit of that Godzilla, it just looks really good, man. There's something about it. They really did Hector is this painted by Hector? Or is it? I think it might be Hector sculpt or whatever.
I think Hector sculpt it and maybe his wife painted it.
Yeah. Well, he really captured like what's special about Sofubi with that evolved Godzilla. Yeah. It is so cool looking. I love the spines on his elbows and his big feet. I just think it is a perfect sculpt that, I don't know, man. He like elevated, that design. It looks great.
Yeah, I really think these will be the like the quintessential, like the main new Empire toys, like for collectors.
They are. They are. Dude,
I don't think
all of that. Dude, throw all your Playmates away and just buy these. 100%.
Yeah. Okay. It was So it was the design and paint by Hector, sculpted by Hector and Alex Brewer.
Alex hung out with him at the show. Yeah. Met him. We took him to see Deadpool.
Oh, nice.
Awesome dude. Alex is great.
Good job, Alex. So Mondo. I mean, I think they were. You could argue they probably won Comic-Con when it came to Godzilla. But Super 7, we talked about, I think, their biggest release, which was the reaction handshake. I mean, I think that it's going to be hard for any company to beat that. I also really liked the reaction, the old Aurora model kit, the unpainted model kit that they see on the far right side. I thought that was cool. And then you talked about maybe almost jumping off and getting some of the reactions there. That Baragon and Anguirus, those two look great. At least in photographs.
The Baragon I almost bought. It looked great in person, and that's the one that I almost picked up. I just thought it was such a cool looking toy. These are all really fun. It's just whether or not reaction or what you collect, and I don't really, but I'll pick up the ones. It's like you pick up the ones you want. These are all really fun, I think.
Yeah, and another variant of the Shogun. This one, the Shogun is done kind of that traditional Popey style, which is the green, the dark green and the red. Very cool stuff. And then there was a hetero reaction as well. Lots of really cool stuff from Super 7. I know they did some T-shirts and some other things, but very reaction heavy from the toy side of things.
Yeah, they had a really cool Hedorah shirt that was, I think, was an exclusive or at least released here.
Yeah. So the next one, you're going to have to talk. I know very little about Hiya Toys, but here's my... I know we've talked about them on past Comic-Cons and some other like US-based events, and they always are releasing kind of cool stuff, what appears to play in that monster arts realm and stuff. I do know that I've had 3 or 4 people reach out to the Kaiju Go email and ask me if there were going to be any vendors selling Hiya Toys. So I know this stuff is hot. I know people are digging this, and there's some really cool stuff. But I was curious, how did it look in person? At least a lot of these prototypes.
It looks great, and they had a lot of the other Hiya Toys stuff, the stuff that's like out, so you can see all the painted versions of the stuff that you can purchase. I think Hiya Toys I don't own any, so and I've never had it. I've never held it in hand, but it almost looks like if you put a Monster Arts figure next to it. I'm not sure if I could tell you what was what. You know what I mean? Like they look like their sculpts might be a little bit better. It might be a little bit better than Monster Arts. They feel like they're probably, a couple steps up from Monster Arts. They look like it's the same kind of articulation. The figures are very similar. But I will say that the Shimu figure, that sculpt looks amazing. And the 90s Mechagodzilla, yes! I feel like even though that's not my first, second, or third favorite Mechagodzilla, you don't see a lot of that Mechagodzilla, and that makes me like it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like he feels a little under.
He's not your third favorite? Who's your third? Do you like Ready Player One better, or do you like Monsterverse better? Monsterverse is my least favorite.
Well, I mean, fucking Monsterverse. Monsterverse is the worst. Monsterverse. Yes. How many Mechagodzillas are there? Hey, fucking anime trilogy Mechagodzilla looks better than this guy.
Mechagodzilla.
They all do. Fucking all the 2000s Mechagodzillas all look. This guy looks dumb.
I love him.
I love him too, but I don't know. There's something about him that is just weird to me. But I think that looks awesome. I think that looks great. These look really cool. They looked great in person.
Yeah.
But I think they're, if you like Monster Arts, you'll love this. It's that kind of thing. They're so similar to me.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, at least from my limited knowledge.
They're like the same size too. They're like around the same size and.
So this stuff is, I know you were flipping out. You sent me photos, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is the greatest stuff ever!" It looked really cool. So this was that some prototypes, some early stuff that we had released from the crazy combination of MVH, Mutant Vinyl Hardcore, and Unbox Industries. I love Unbox. They have one. Hey, one of my top 10 toys is from Unbox. I need a Super Inframan. Come on, guys, where is it? I can't find it anywhere. And they had these.
I think Jay, I think I really fucked up, and like they had a case of some of their stuff.
Yeah,
and they had Belial. Do you know who Belial is?
Yeah, from Ultraman. Yeah, Belial.
No, not Ultraman.
Oh,
Belial from the classic horror film Basket Case.
Oh no, I have no idea who that is.
Have you ever heard of Basket Case?
No.
I'm gonna tell you what it is really quick. It's not kaiju related, but. There's this classic horror movie called Basket Case where this guy has like a twin attached to his body, and the doctors are like, we got to cut your twin out, and they do, and then the twin, which is Belial, and he lives in a little basket, him and his brother take revenge on all the doctors and kill the doctors, and he's a weird little blob with two little arms, and it's really silly, but it's an awesome, it's a very fun trilogy of movies. And they had a Belial Sofubi, like this big. And I kept telling Jess, I was like, hey, should I get that Belial? And then we went by and it was like, well, they only got 2 left. They only got 1 left. And I just never bought it. And it was the thing that when I got home was like, fuck, I should have bought that Belial Sofubi. Sorry, nothing to do with kaiju, but these to me, other than what Mondo had, best stuff I saw. Look at that Hedorah sculpt. Look at this fucking little Godzilla holding a heart. I don't know what the deal is with that.
Doesn't matter.
I don't know why he's holding a heart. I think he also might have hearts in his eyes.
Even better.
I want whatever that is going to be. I want it. So all 3 of these are great, and all 3 of these are things I would buy. Yeah. But the little Godzilla with the heart, that's calling my name.
And the -1, the chase scene with him coming out of the water, like that's awesome. And like with Unbox and Mutant Vinyl Hardcore, it's gonna be good. They don't do bad stuff. Like their quality is always great. I will challenge one thing you said though.
Okay.
I think Mondo and these guys might be the best things here, but I think there might be one more that at least has a claim to that throne, and we'll get to it in a second. Okay. We'll get to it in a second.
Okay.
But no, these I thought truly of all the stuff that I was not expecting to see. Like all the other stuff, we kind of had hints or kind of had an idea, or it wasn't shocking. Even if it's cool, it wasn't shocking.
Mhm.
These were shocking to see.
Yeah,
And I think
they were
that's what adds
different.
to it.
It was
Yeah.
very different.
Yeah, I can't wait to see this how they come to fruition.
Yeah.
So and then we had the other thing. There was an exclusive 89 for Monster Arts, which is great. And then we heard a couple. Geez, was it the end of last year that 3-0, who I've seen all their stuff for like Ultraman anime and stuff. They do really cool stuff. That they started a new brand line called Kaiju, and they showed off their first figure in that line, which was this awesome Godzilla 74. So I thought that was kind of cool that was officially released, not released, but shown at San Diego Comic-Con. Thought that was very cool, and they do really cool stuff too. I think they're based out in Hong Kong, I believe.
Yeah, I love both of these. These are both really great.
Yeah.
Monster Arts has always put out,
Yeah.
I think, pretty high quality stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty accurate sculpts.
A lot of
Both of
posability.
these are. What's that?
A lot of posability.
Yeah, a lot of posability, and that used to be, man, Monster Arts used to be like one of my main things, until I graduated to X Plus. But these are both fun. I think these are both awesome. I love this.
Yep. And so that one that I thought would maybe challenge it is right here. From
I know what it is. I know what it is.
Oh yeah, from Abominable Toys. Chomp is their signature creature character. They do a lot of good stuff. But they partnered with this guy that's pretty good artist as well. We talk about Bob and Hector and Peter and all these guys, but the guy that you got to hang out with at San Diego Comic-Con, the great Tom Whalen, they did a Chomp in a Godzilla costume, and this thing is amazing. This is an absolute must-have for me. I got to get one of these. Just stunning. Stunning. Everything great about Godzilla and the designer toy world put together in one, and it just, I don't know. I think it's freaking brilliant.
My favorite thing about this, and you can't really see it in these photos, is the spines look like they fit together like a puzzle. I don't know if you noticed that, but if you find a photo of the spines, they're like two-toned, and they are like interconnected, so it looks like it's a puzzle piece making his spine. Very cool design choice. I love it.
Yeah,
it's a very cool toy. I never even saw this booth, and it was one of those things where I went in planning on going here, and I just kept forgetting about it all weekend until the con was over, and I was like, fuck, I missed it. But yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, and so that was it. So I mean, obviously, I did have a couple more photos I wanted to show you, but
Sure.
as far as those two conventions, I mean, that all happened in the matter of like a week.
Yeah, it's a lot going on.
We're so
dude.
spoiled.
We
But
are.
that wasn't it. I had to show you a couple of these, and we'll do these rapid fire, no slides.
Okay.
But I did want to throw these up here. There were some other really cool things that popped up since the last time we spoke, and one of them I want to show you in person because it was a pop-up that happened on, I believe, July 20th. So right after G-Fest, but since we spoke, and I actually have one in person I wanted to show you because the pictures are great, but it doesn't quite do it justice. So this was an exclusive to the Marathon, the pop-up Kaiju Salon shop on July 20th. This is from the 350 line. This is a beautiful red translucent Shin Godzilla 4th form.
Oh my god.
Now, so this looks great in the photos, but
Yeah.
what really shocked me, and I don't know if it'll show up here, is I love translucent, but it actually maybe does this one a disservice because there is so much detailing in the skin. It's all like the musculature of Shin Godzilla. It's all sculpted in here.
It's all in there.
So if you can kind of see, it's really, really, really well done.
I've seen some pictures of this thing, and yeah, dude, that is such a good looking toy.
It's really good. And it's the same vinyl that they used for the Shin second form, the Kamada-kun.
Yeah.
So you can pair them all together. They'll look beautiful. A couple things. I want to show a couple Godzilla store exclusives. One is in the Godzilla store US, and the other one is just in Japan for now. The one that's in the US now is King Ghidorah 350 series. But the reason I wanted to bring this one up, this is the Millennium Dragon version, is this was another one of their figures that's painted by Takashi Yoshizaki from the jewelry maker. And what's really cool, and I've had the Megalon that he does in here in hand, and I've seen it. I had it at G-Fest. The thing that's cool is he uses those jewelry painting techniques and jewelry design techniques instead of doing traditional Sofubi spray. So it almost feels like chalky, not feels, the paint app almost looks chalky and more matted than you would see from a spray. It's very cool. It's very, 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 very cool. And I think this with that gold and that kind of dark blue will look really cool in that style. So if anybody has any chances to get the Yoshizaki style paint apps on these Marasan pieces, whether it's Megalon, whether it's King Ghidorah, or I think there's a couple other ones that he did as well. Godzilla 89, of course, I have those. Check them out. They're really cool, and they're very, very different. And it almost makes the Sofubi look like a totally different, like it's made of a totally different material. Very
does,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah. The other one that's in Japan, and hopefully will be coming to the U.S., is, I already mentioned him, to pair with my Gojiban style Godzilla 100th anniversary of Marasan. There's the Destroyer. This thing is big, too.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is so fun to look at.
Yeah. He's very cool.
Shit. How big is that? It's bigger. Is it bigger than the Godzilla? Like it's like kind of an in scale. It'll
probably be like here, and it'll probably be about a couple inches taller and a lot wider.
Shit, dude.
Yeah, so he's big. He's expensive. I think he's like $300 something on the side. So like he's big. The other thing that came up on the Godzilla store in Japan, I had to show. I don't know if you saw this, but this is kind of cool. It's like thousands of dollars, but was this wood carving? Did you see this? The Godzilla.
Oh, I did. I did, and I showed it to Jess. I was like, "Hey, Jess, should we get this wood carving?" And she was like, "Oh yeah, let's get one. How much is it?" And I was like,
"Like $1,500."
Yeah, it was like $1,200 or something. It's beautiful though. It's cool.
Yeah. The another thing that popped up on the Godzilla store, and it's on the US as well now. And I just thought you'd get a kick out of this because you mentioned Roland Emmerich is movie monster series. They got them a Zilla.
They got him. He's back.
I love that they call him the Zilla 2004. That's the one from Final Wars. Just so you know.
Right. You can tell.
Yeah, I know. Metacom and Unraku and Saku, they had one more lottery since the last time we spoke, and it was a little bit of a shocker. They're giving us a 55.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love it.
Very cool. And
Beautiful.
then the last thing that popped up a couple days ago was, I love a lot of the stuff that Graveyard Gallery does, how the Hakuba Gallery in Japan, they partner with Max Toy and Planet X Asia and Marasan, Bullmark, lots of them. Well, they partnered with a company called Strange Gallery, and they have a Super Eye license. And they're releasing one of our favorite monsters, the Great Pestar. And this is cool because he's holding the oil barrels.
Oil drums, yeah.
I know, isn't that awesome?
I think this is, I saw this going around too, and this is such a good sculpt and paint job. I love that toy. Yeah,
I know.
Good
cool
stuff.
Yeah, so I do want to throw those out there since they didn't fit one of the two conventions, but they're worth talking about. I mean, these were really cool stuff. And that's, like I said, this has all happened since the last time that we were on here recording. Isn't that nuts?
Yeah,
it's insane.
It is nuts.
It's insane.
Well, I mean, we talk about it every time. There's never, there's Godzilla stuff coming out constantly. So it's great. A lot of good stuff. This is a good episode.
I don't know. I was excited to talk, and actually, first time we've shared so many of these pictures back and forth over the last couple of weeks. But actually, it's like, oh, did you see this? Yeah, that's could. But like, we didn't have a chance to like. Is it like cool? Like, thank you for sending it. Neat, or like, dude, I gotta get this. Because at some point it's like, how much of it's like I really, really want it, or it's like, no, I will be like selling kidneys to get it.
I need to have it. Yeah, dude, I'm just excited about toys, and I'm excited about the future of toys, and I am so excited to come to Texas to Kaiju Go in a couple weeks and just have fun and be around a bunch of Godzilla fans and spend money. Like, I'm going to spend money that I shouldn't, and I cannot wait.
Yeah, and hey, you got to buy some of those Goosebumps books to get Mark Nagata to sign.
Dude, I'm buying Goosebumps books tonight. I actually already have a couple lots like saved. I
love it
because I'm like, which ones do I want him to sign? How many do I ask him to sign before it's annoying? Just all. Hey, what I'm just gonna do is like the whole weekend, I'll just come up to him and be like, "Hey, will you sign another one of these?"
I know, right?
I'm not gonna hit them all at once. I'll just hit them. No, I think I'm gonna get him just probably to sign one.
Just show up every time and have the glasses with the disguise, the nose.
I'll get a
mustache
disguise.
size. Yeah, just every time. Come in a
That's a good
luchador mask the next time. It'll be great.
That's a good idea. Jay, you got anything else you want to touch on, or?
No, I'm just gonna go back and just hug my new Marmot Space Godzilla, and we're gonna be. Oh yeah, there you go. We're happy, and we're content.
We're happy. We're gonna leave it at that, and we'll see you guys very soon. Bye.